Hey guys, I haven't done a video in a while, so let's give you some updates. Ava is now crawling a little bit. She is now in the bugs class at the little gym of Friendswood.
Oh, he's a first mom. Oh. Hey, Sammy.
She's got 2 teeth and 3 more coming in. And she's still loving her walker. She's been sick twice since the last video. And on antibiotics twice. Oh yeah, and I got blue hair. There was pink in it before, but that faded. So without further ado, here's the Halloween special of Project Mommy. And today we're going to be talking about common fears for first-time moms. So let's talk about the fear factor of becoming a mom. Some of the most common fears are like, am I doing it wrong? Am I setting a bad example for my kid? Will she be spoiled? Am I loving her enough? Things like that. So let me read you a couple of the biggest fears that I found online, okay? So the first one says, this mom says, I spend at least 30 sleepless minutes every night just thinking about any and everything that could go wrong. SIDS, breathing issues, choking while sleeping, somehow rolling over during sleep, etc. That is a big fear. However, SIDS is not very common anymore. I want to say, let's see if it gives a statistic. SIDS is rare. Let's just say that. It's rare. It's not very common, and the best way to get over that fear is just to make sure that your child falls asleep on their back at all times, and make sure that they're not covered up too much, because that can get them really, really hot. See, people, including babies, they get really hot when they sleep. So as long as you don't, as long as you make sure that they're not too hot when they go to bed, they'll be fine. Make sure that they don't have anything that they can suffocate themselves with, like blankets or anything like that. My suggestion to keep them warm is just to get them footy pajamas, warm footy pajamas, and possibly a little beanie to put over their heads. But other than that, it'll be fine. I mean, your doctor will tell you that if your baby can roll over onto their stomach, then it's probably time that they do. Just make sure that you're working on that tummy time every day to make sure that the baby gets arm strength so that they can push themselves up if they need to. Like Ava, for instance, every night she ends up on her stomach, but she always ends up with her head this way or that way. If she's not comfortable, she'll wake up and push herself up and cry for me. So, the next mom, ooh, this is kind of a legitimate fear of mine. I'm terrified the nipple on her pacifier will come off while she's sucking on it and she'll choke. I never would have dreamed of this, except that the darn things came with that warning. I tug on it all the time to make sure it's firmly in place. Here's the thing about the pacifiers, and this is a rule of thumb that my mom has always taught me because she was a dental hygienist. When your baby starts getting teeth and they're big enough to chew through things, take the pacifier away. It will ruin their teeth anyways. Okay, so as soon as those teeth come in and they're able to chew with those teeth, take the pacifier. All right? Take it while they're sleeping. Don't ever show it to them again. That's it. Simple as that. I did have that legitimate fear, especially with the pacifiers that were attached to the animal, you know. I've read several cases where children have chewed through the end of it and swallowed the tip of the nipple. That scares me. My newest fear is that while he's at daycare, some little kid will poke him in the eye and he'll go blind. Really? I don't even know where that fear came from. I don't know where that fear came from either. Honestly, that's not likely to happen. You're more likely to have a severely sick child on your hands than you are to have a child's eye be poked out. Or, you know, a kid hit them in daycare or something. Okay, the next one says, I worry that my husband will fall while carrying our daughter up the stairs. Yeah. When Ava was a lot smaller, that was one of my fears, that my husband was just going to become clumsy all of a sudden and start falling with the baby in his hands. And it scared me. It's a legitimate fear. I'm telling you, every mom has it. Every mom. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Say hi, Ava. Happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah, so cute. Okay. So, the next fear says, what if I don't bond with my baby and I just feel the same way about him as I do about other people's kids? Okay, that is a legitimate fear. And I will tell you from experience, it happens. Postpartum depression typically sets in about 10% of women, statistically speaking. But know that every woman will go through some form of postpartum depression and they will not be able to bond with their child during that time. It's very difficult. I remember as soon as I got out of the hospital, actually I remember after Ava was born, I just had this feeling like I should want to see my child, right? What, baby? Honestly, I just didn't care. I didn't care if they brought her into the room or anything. And I thought to myself, wow, I could honestly leave this child in Walmart and not care. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not that person, though. I'm not that person. So it does happen, mostly with postpartum depression. No, I wouldn't leave you in a Walmart. I love you. Okay, so let's see. Not being able to nurse is probably my biggest fear. Yeah. That is a big thing. A lot of women aren't able to breastfeed. It's not that they don't want to, it's just that they're not able to. And it's because their body's is either not producing enough milk or not producing at all. My suggestion to you is to make sure that your hormones are okay. And probably start pumping a month or two before your due date. That way your body gets used to that feeling. Also take lots of fenugreek within, a few days before you go into labor. And if you're having trouble, always ask your doctor, because my doctor put me on Reglan so that I could produce enough milk. And some women aren't able to breastfeed because the baby is not latching. And that's a big issue. Okay, this one's kind of silly. I'm worried that we won't have everything done before the baby comes. The nursery isn't done yet, and I feel like the house isn't ready either. Nesting syndrome. We had our nursery pretty much done. Well, pretty much done by the time Ava showed up. There's still 2 things missing that I really want to get up in that nursery, but my husband refuses to do anything. Okay, I'm worried about the health of my little one. I work in the NICU, so I see crazy stuff all the time. I don't think I'll believe that the delivery went okay and that she's healthy until I'm leaving the hospital with her. That is a legitimate fear, okay? For those of you who have been keeping up with my blog, I had a very traumatic experience. Ava's blood sugars weren't that great when she came out. It took about 3 days for us to get out of the hospital, and I was really worried that Ava wasn't going to be okay. It scared me. It really did, because her blood sugar just kept plummeting and plummeting, and then she had the bilirubin problem, and it was scary. It can be scary. My advice to you is to talk with your doctor about the things that can go wrong after birth and prepare for them as best as you can. You see yourself in that camera? You're so sweet. I'm terrified about not getting to the hospital in time because we have a 45-minute drive. I told my husband to take good notes at our birthing class just in case. Okay. The likelihood of your baby popping out in that 45-minute period is it's not likely to happen. Not likely to happen at all. Typical birth is about 12 hours or more. What? Oh. I love you. So there's no need to worry about that. Okay, this one is the last one. It says, I have moments of total paranoia where about the soft spots on my son's head. I worry that I'll accidentally poke him or bang his head on a soft spot. I've heard that soft spots are actually pretty tough, but it still freaks me out. Okay, let me tell you something about the soft spot that freaks me out, okay? The soft spot, right here, pulsates with the baby's heartbeat. And it's creepy because sometimes you can see it moving. And it freaks me out. Scary. I had a lot more planned for this blog. Specifically, let's see, I was going to do this whole interview with a bunch of other moms, and I chickened out. Because I'm a chicken. And then I was going to do a trick-or-treat themed kind of video where we put questions in a pot, in a cauldron, and pull them out and ask each other the questions, and it was going to be tricks or treats. So yeah, my friend's daughter actually got really sick, so we can't go over there. I hope she's feeling better soon. I mean, my God, she had a 103-degree fever and intense ear infection. Ava, do not chew on wires. This is what you'll have to deal with whenever you have kids. Yesterday, my daughter decided to walk in her walker into my room, shut the door, and then dig through my drawers. She thought it was funny. You're not funny. So without further ado, this is Ava's first Halloween, and here is some video from her first trick-or-treat experience.
Yeah. Hi, baby. Oh, you having fun, huh? You having fun at Trunk or Treat? Let's go get some treats. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, a dog. Hello, doggy. Oh.
Bags and bags and bags. We ran out of candy, but we've got information on tutoring and movie night.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Eva. Eva. Come over here. Hey, you. Bring her over here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy Halloween! That doggy needs a trick or treat.
That's a cute dog.
Oh, look
Say
at her.
hello.
She's so
Say trick or treat.
cute. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
There you go.
That little one needs a sucker. She needs a sucker. Freeland, I got a sucker right here.
All right, go ahead.
You got a sucker. Oh, yay.
That's for the little ones.
Thank you.
And then I don't know if she can have these, but we'll give her one of those too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Eva gets a sucker. Hey, you. Hey, you.